Welcome to this explainer. If you look really closely at the agricultural fields producing the food we eat every single day, you'll realize we're actually looking at a microscopic battlefield. It's an entire ecosystem under constant, relentless threat from pests and diseases. For decades, humanity has been waging this massive war to save our crops, secure our food supply, and protect our agricultural ecosystem. But the weapons we've traditionally chosen, well, they might just be destroying the very world we're trying to save.
Okay, let's dive into this because this right here is the central conflict of our ecological hero's journey today. How exactly do we fight off crop-destroying pests without simultaneously poisoning the planet we call home? It's a really delicate balancing act. And to truly understand the incredible, innovative solutions that science and nature have teamed up to provide, we first need to understand the sheer gravity of the problem we've created.
Section 1. The chemical pesticide problem. So, for a long time, traditional farming has relied on a pretty heavy-handed approach. Enter the villains of our story: synthetic chemicals and broad-spectrum insecticides. The hidden costs of this conventional approach, they're honestly staggering. We created these chemicals to tackle pests, sure, but they are highly toxic. They pose serious risks, not just to human health, but to all the surrounding wildlife. The environmental pollution is immense. We're talking about severe degradation of soil quality and the contamination of our groundwater. And ironically enough, even the herbicides we use, which are intended just to eliminate unwanted weeds, they actually exacerbate this massive pollution problem. Ultimately, they threaten the very fruits, vegetables, and crops we're trying so hard to protect. It's basically a scorched earth tactic, and it's just simply not sustainable. Section 2. What is biological control? Thankfully, we are finally shifting away from the urgency of that toxic chemical problem and moving toward an incredibly exciting, holistic solution. Biological control, or biocontrol, is an innovative method that harnesses natural organisms and natural predation to manage pests and diseases. This approach fosters a balanced, biodiverse ecosystem without total eradication, which is just a massive paradigm shift. Instead of broad-spectrum destruction, where we essentially try to chemically nuke every single bug in the field, we're focusing on holistic ecosystem balance. In an organic farming system, having a diverse landscape is actually vital. It means bugs that we typically view as pests are kept in check naturally, rather than being entirely wiped out. And this brilliantly illustrates the stark contrast between our two choices. On one side, you have conventional chemical solutions. They're toxic, they pollute our groundwater, and they harm wildlife. On the flip side, biological control is highly sustainable, it targets pests specifically through natural predation, and it actively boosts biodiversity. It's literally the difference between working against nature and working with it. Section 3. Nature's Insect Guardians. So, who exactly are the agents of this natural solution? Let's zoom in on the visible heroes of our ecosystem, the ones acting as natural guardians against these pests. Take ladybirds, for instance. They aren't just cute little garden bugs. They are voracious predators. They help control aphid populations, which, if you didn't know, are notorious for absolutely destroying plants. And then we have dragonflies, which actively prey on mosquitoes. By simply encouraging the presence of these specific, really relatable insects, farmers can contribute to a vastly healthier ecological balance. They're basically doing the heavy lifting of pest control for us. Section 4. The Microscopic Defenders. Let's move to and see how this builds, because the biocontrol army doesn't stop with the bugs we can see. At the awe-inspiring microscopic level, the process of using invisible microbial agents is absolutely fascinating. A primary example is Bacillus thuringiensis, or BT for short. It's a microbial agent used specifically against pest caterpillars. Here's how it works. First, farmers take dried spores of the specific bacterium and mix them with water. Second, this mixture is sprayed directly onto the plants. Third, the pest caterpillars come along and consume those spores while trying to munch on the crop. And step 4, that is where the magic happens. Once inside the caterpillar's gut, a toxin is produced that is completely lethal to the pests, but entirely harmless to beneficial insects. It is just surgical precision on a microscopic scale. And science has actually taken this a step further. We now have genetically modified crops like BT cotton. This is a crop that's been specifically engineered to incorporate the genes from that BT bacterium directly into the plant itself. It showcases a massive, massive advancement in built-in plant protection. The plant is literally born with the ability to defend itself against specific pest attacks, which drastically reduces the need for external sprays altogether. How cool is that? Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer variety of microscopic defenders we have at our disposal. Because it's not just bacteria. Fungi, such as trichoderma, act as incredible biocontrol agents against various plant pathogens. And then we have baculoviruses. These are viruses that selectively target specific insects. They don't harm the plants, they don't harm the wildlife, and they are incredibly safe for integrated pest management. That's absolutely crucial, especially in sensitive ecological zones where you just cannot afford any collateral chemical damage.
Section 5. A Sustainable Agricultural Future.
Let's zoom back out to the big picture here to really explain exactly why understanding all of these natural interactions deeply matters for the future of our planet. By utilizing microbial and insect biocontrol agents, we massively reduce our reliance on those harmful toxic chemicals we talked about at the very beginning of this explainer. So the crucial point is this approach conserves beneficial organisms, it actively supports sustainable agricultural practices, and it ultimately enhances the overall health of our environment. It proves that, yes, we can secure our food supply while actually promoting the well-being of the planet.
We've seen the serious damage that chemical warfare does to our fields, and we've explored the elegant surgical solutions that natural predators and microscopic defenders offer us. Which leaves us with one final thought to ponder as we close out this explainer. If nature holds the ultimate cure to our agricultural threats, is it time we step back,